Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and Dan Bongino has had a lot to say after the arrest of Brian Cole Jr. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. You guys know Dan Bongino, before he became the deputy director of the FBI, he was a podcast host. In fact, I know Dan. I've spoken to him several times. Great guy. He had a lot of things to say about January 6th suspect Brian Cole Jr. before he knew it was Brian Cole Jr., before any of us knew, years ago. And he believed that it was an inside job, possibly, with the FBI. Now, look, the FBI has not given many details yet about what Brian Cole Jr.'s motivation was. There are some rumors right now that I'm not going to get into because I think they're ridiculous. I think Brian Cole Jr. to this day is still trying to hurt President Donald Trump because he hates him. And if you look at his online history, it shows that. If you look at what this guy did for a living, it shows that. If you look at his associations, it shows that. Well, Dan Bongino kind of walked back his previous statements as a podcast host yesterday, and the media is seizing on that. But as podcast hosts, we don't have access to the sensitive information and evidence that the FBI has. We're just podcast hosts. And yeah, we have sources. Yeah, we have people we talk to, but we aren't getting our hands in there on the evidence. Bongino now has his hands on the evidence, and what it brings, well, we're going to see. But I want you to listen to him and let me know what you think in the comments.
You know, I don't know if you remember this. This is before you became the deputy FBI director. You put a post on X right after this happened, and you said there's a massive cover-up because the person that planted those pipe bombs, they don't want you to know who it is because it's either a connected anti-Trump insider or an inside job. You said that, you know, long before you even thought of as deputy FBI director.
Yeah, that's why I said to you, this investigation's just begun. We are pretty comfortable. We have our guy. I think as again, legal process starts to surface and information, facts start to come out, the public's going to be very comfortable with the investigation that was conducted under Director Patel and his leadership. He's been great on this. But I don't want to, you know, listen, I was paid in the past, Sean, for my opinions. That's clear. And one day I'll be back in that space. But that's not what I'm paid for now. I'm paid to be your deputy director, and we base investigations on facts. And, you know, it was interesting. I was looking out in the crowd today at the presser, and I saw a couple of media figures who you and I both know who promoted the other scandal, the collusion hoax. And I thought to myself, you know, the difference between us and them is, you know, we evolve. As information and new inputs come out, we can produce different outputs because that's what we believe in. We believe in facts and investigations guided by facts. There were people out there in that crowd, I'm sure still believe in this collusion fairy tale hoax. So we'll see. We're going to be guided by the facts as this thing goes forward. And I can't stop the, you know, leave the truck here without thanking the president. The president